The stock has now been filed down, it has now been sanded. I'm going to be taking the next steps, and that is to stain it. I'm going to be using this ye old Aqua Fortis. I got this from Track of the Wolf, and I'm just going to be following their instructions. I was going to use Minowax, but I reached out to Ethan Woods from 11 Bang Bang, and he highly recommended Aqua Fortis. He's used it on his Indian-made guns with the teak stocks, so I guess we'll just follow him into the breach. The things that I'm going to be needing is Aqua Fortis Quad Zero Steel Wool 0000, and then I'm going to be having some gloves to be working with. I bought this electric heat gun, and I'm going to finish it with this boiled linseed oil, as well as long sleeves to protect my skin, and then the gloves to protect my hands, and then I'll wear safety glasses, or maybe we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's start working through the process of turning this teak stock and staining it with Aqua Fortis. Excited to see where it goes. I'm not... if anyone actually has any comments on Minowax, I'd like to hear it. With that being said, I'm no expert. This is my first time ever actually staining a stock, and so I'm going to be staining this teak stock. Seeing how that goes, I'll decide how I'm going to stain my Pedersoli French Musket stock. But yeah, anyways, let's get to it. Let's start following those instructions. Our first step is that after the final sanding, we are going to whisker the stock to raise the compressed grains. I'm reading directly from the instructions. So So I finished sanding the stock, and next thing we're going to do is whisker the stock to raise the compressed grains. We're going to be doing this we're going to wet the surface with some water. So I have a rag here. Get my little rag wet. I'm going to rub that over the stock, and then I'm going to take a heat gun. So let's get the stock nice and wet, or damp, I guess. It says your final step is to use a damp cloth, but yeah, we'll just speed it up right now. After we wet the surface with water, we dry it quickly over our heat source. So we will be taking our electric heat gun to now dry it. You can already see where it's instantly taking the wetness out of the stock. I think I might have figured out what a whisker is. I don't know if this camera is going to be able to pick it up, but about right there, you can see it looks like basically shave stubble. That's right around. That would make sense because my friend had royally used the wood file to bring this down, but you can feel it's nice and rough around the edge. So we'll now take the quad steel wool, and we will start working on it. So let's see if we can get that down. Yep, and there it goes. Takes off those whiskers, smooths that out, makes that a little bit better. What else we got? Yep. Obviously, where I'm going to be hitting the most is where the most filing took place. So right there on the comb of the stock, you got some whiskers. Bring those down. Flip that over. Yep, you can see them again right here. Basically where the round file dug into that wood, and the sanding paper wasn't able to get it. Man, that's pretty cool, because I thought I had actually done a pretty good job with my sandpaper. It was very smooth when I finished, but now that I see this, you can really pick up all the fine little stubble that's coming out of it, or the whiskers, as you may. So where else did we work? Yep, so basically hitting all the parts that had received a lot of hand filing. So right there, around the stock shadow, just forward of the side plate. Yeah, knock those down. So mostly it's going to be around those parts that had been hand filed. Just knock out those. That's good. I expect some right there. We'll just hit the whole lock plate. Okay, we have now finished with the whiskers. So I actually did end up taking off whiskers. I did it 3 times because after I did it the first time, I could realize that there was still a lot of pieces of the wood that were coming up, making nice little, yeah, little whiskers that are coming out. So I hit that 3 times, only really over on the lock plate area or the lock area and the cone of stock, the places where the gun had received the most, or the stock had received the most work. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a damp rag and I'm going to completely wipe the gun off, or the stock off. Sorry, just keep on getting those confused. I'm going to wipe the stock off of any of these steel particles from the steel wool. So that's the next step. I'm just going to take this rag I got, we're going to dampen it up. My next step is I'm going to let the stock dry out for about 20 hours, and then I will go and use the sunlight to be able to then apply the Aquafortis. So let's fast forward. And here it is. This is how the piece looks with the linseed oil all dried up. And I'm personally very happy with it. Obviously, it's unloaded. But yeah, it's a much better looking gun in my opinion.